Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with CRL Tier 2 Round 3, and we're in, wet France. As always, I'm your host, CRL Spider95, and I am joined, as always, by my good friend, co-host, former Ferrari teammate, that is Mr. AFL.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're enjoying this weather we're having. I'm hoping that the race is going to be dry. And yeah, hope you're having a good evening. Rob, quick one. I can't see the game. I'm still in the lobby. It says stop. Yeah.
Ooh, that could be interesting. Try coming out the lobby and maybe jumping back into it, maybe see if that helps. So just while Mr. AFL sorts out his stuff, we're going to jump on board with Strauss, who will take us for the first outlap on this wet France race. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a wet France race, but quali most definitely will be wet. As if I can't escape Monday night enough as it is, the wet France has come back to haunt me even more, AFL.
Let's go for it.
Well,
yeah.
France was certainly an interesting one this week for obviously Tier 3 and Tier 4, but now it's time for the top two tiers to take to the track and try and earn even more points for the constructors, but yet even more importantly for the Drivers' Championship. So while we are out and about with Strauss, let's just go for a quick run through of the World Drivers' Championship as it stands after 2 rounds. Ennis is on a perfect score with 62 points, who currently leads the World Championship. Duwill is in second with 34 points, and Hobbsy is in third with 30. Knowlesy's in fourth with 24, equalled with Carl. And then we've got Jet, Shu, McConey, Strauss 4-star, Harry Palmer's in 11th, Legend in 12th, War Daddy 13th, 34P 14, T-Griff, Farrow, Cole Paradox, Cool Killer, Tango, and Vapor Shadow in that exact order. AFL, why don't you give us some interesting facts about France?
I don't really have many interesting facts about Paul Ricard, to be honest. It's not really an interesting track, if I'm being honest. I can talk about some races that have happened here in the past, but other than Leclerc spinning out here on his own last season, I believe, in the Ferrari.
Yeah, well, not the season before last now, officially.
Yeah, 2022. 2021 was a decent race, which Verstappen won. I think he done the 2-stop compared to Lewis on the 1-stop. We've got Valtteri Bottas being taken out by Sebastian Vettel in 2018 at the first corner. So yeah, it's a track that's had a few bit of dramatic events, but it's not as good as Manicourt, in my opinion anyway. Manicourt was sort of one of my favourite tracks growing up, especially with that hairpin in the first sector. Caused a lot of drama there, but Paul Ricard is more of a test track, as you know. A lot of the team this as a test facility because of all the different layouts and stuff like that you can run, and it's quite a good track to gain the balance of a car as well, because it's obviously got the tight sort of last sector and it's got the long straights, so you need a good balance around here, and hopefully these guys have got a good balance, because setup around here is very important.
I felt that I was quite comfortable in my setup on Monday evening until it all went horribly wrong. AFL, I don't know if you were in the same boat as me on Monday evening, because I know you lasted longer than what I did.
I finished the race. It felt like I was in a boat, to be honest, how slow the car was, but I got points in the end, and that's my first points of the season. Yeah, I did get a penalty, which is a little bit contentious, but alas, it doesn't really make a difference to my race. And obviously, I accepted a penalty. We're not perfect, even though we're commentators. We're not perfect.
No, exactly right.
But yeah, we all have our flaws, and obviously, I am accepting the penalty. But yeah, on to tonight. I'm looking forward to a good race between these guys here. I'm sure they're gonna put on a better show than us. I think we had 11 finishes on Monday, so I'm expecting there to be at least 14 finishes tonight.
Well, the person I'm on board with at the moment, it is his home Grand Prix. It is that of CRL II in the Haas. And what can he do? He currently sticks it Oh, no, he's not on a hot lap. He's on an out lap. Now he's on a hot lap. Well, okay. Well, we've got 3 people across the line so far. 4 people across the line so far. Strauss currently leads it with 138. Harry Palmer in the 138s might as well be 139. And Kukala 139.4. 4-star, 1 minute 50. Taking it quite casual around the track. I wonder if he's taken my approach. 2 out laps and then a hot lap. Laconi now breaking into the 138.8. And so it's currently, as it stands, Mercedes 1-2. It's been a while since I've said that in any form. Carl now goes fastest with in the Alpha Tauri 1 minute 38.1. It's at that stage, AFL, where everybody decides to come thick and fast, and I get tongue-tied for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think the guys are all out now. You've got 3 guys in the pits. You've got Farrell, Mort and Dean in the pits now. But most of the track action is happening now. Maybe this could be the period where it's going to be the crossover period. And the guys are just putting in a lap just to see, because obviously it's good to get a banker in now. Because you never know whether the track's going to get worse, the rain might come down even harder, so this might be the best conditions now, or it could be the worst conditions, and they just want to get a lap in to see what the race might be like, because we don't know what the conditions are for the race, unless you do know.
No, I've not been told yet. Ennis, Cool Paradox and Jet all set in times now, going 6th, 7th and 10th retrospectively. Right then, let's see who has scoped across the line in a minute. I believe it's going to be Hobbsy, which is next. But I believe he's only just starting his outlap, so I believe the next person to cross the line is a Aston Martin, and it was the Aston Martin of 4-star improving in going provisional P4 of 138.8. I think the next one to cross the line is going to be a Mercedes, but I believe he is coming in on his... No, it's going to be no improvement for the Mercedes driver. Alright, who's up next? Pangriu. I think that's that person's gamer tag there. We're going to go with that and hope for the best. Goes provisional pole for 137.7. That is quick in the wet, AFL. I'll tell you what is interesting. I don't know if you are there or not. Harry Palmer and D-Morts have decided that now's the time for softs.
Interesting. It doesn't look... dry enough.
No, I wonder if there's actually quite a few drivers coming in. 3, 4 of them the same.
Has been enabled now, so maybe in a couple of laps, once these intermediate guys clear a bit of the standing water that's still there, maybe we'll get a dry line, which is possible. So yeah, and if that is the case, then the times are just going to get a lot quicker than they are now.
Well, this is why.
Worst thing you could do is bin it right now, especially when there's a possibility you could get pole. So it's about switching these tyres on as well in these temperatures as well, with the track conditions, getting those tyres into the right window, and just banging in a lap.
I'm on board with Harry Palmer at the moment, who's currently out on that track on the soft tyres. So we're going to check out and see. He seems to be doing okay, but to me that track's that's still a bit on the damp side, personally.
Yeah, it's still damp.
But we'll see what Harry can do. Let him cook. So as it stands, Strauss is currently our pole sitter at the moment with a 137.6. Some quicker times starting to appear. Maybe it is time for them softs. Who knows? Because Harry doesn't seem to be slipping and sliding at the moment. He seems to actually be getting into a nice group as Panguru goes 1 minute 37.5. If I'm pronouncing that gamer tag wrong, I do apologise, but I don't know what that's supposed to say. Do you know what it's supposed to say, AFL?
What's that, mate? Sorry.
The current poll leader. What does the gamer tag say?
For me, it says Pani Gree 00. Pangri 00. That's what I'm gonna go with. What about you?
Well, I called it Pangu. But I think we'll just go with Pan, just to make it easier, I think, mate.
Yeah.
So, Harry Palmer is on his first
The track has dried up immensely.
So, let's see what he can do. Let's let him cook, shall we? And then we'll jump aboard and we'll find somebody else in a moment. But Harry just set a fastest Sector 1 on them softs. So, yeah, 100% time for the softs. Let's see what he can do. Now, it's the opposite to what we had to deal with on Monday AFL. We went from dry to wet. I wonder if we're going to be expecting any rain race drama at some point today.
Yeah, hopefully these guys say that it's a dry race.
Hopefully it's dry for them.
Yeah.
While we are on board with Harry, let's go and find out what it currently looks like for the constructors, shall we? Right then, so as it stands for the constructors, now this is before, obviously, we take into account Monday night's races points, so this is as of the end from last week. So Ferrari lead the constructors with 198 points, Williams are in second with 182, Red Bull are in third with 159, Haas are in fourth with 143, Mercedes are in fifth with 115, Aston Martin have 91 in sixth, AlphaTauri are in seventh with 88, Alpine are in eighth with 79, Alfa Romeo are in ninth with 76, and at the very back is McLaren with 58, as Harry Palmer goes fastest with a 1:33.3. Just as I say that McLaren are at the bottom of the constructors, as it stands, it is a McLaren 1-2. We're jumping on board with De Rouge at the moment, who's on his hot lap on his fresh set of softs. For those that are tuning in, you are tuning in with the Tier 2 boys, or as we call it, the GOAT tier, or the banter tier, as I believe that the boys like to call it inside the Paddock Club. So hopefully these boys will keep up with that tonight. Now, I don't normally come into my own until the main race. It's normally AFL which does all the carrying in qualifying. But that's where I think we kind of really bounce off each other, to be fair, mate. What do you think? And that radio silence says it all, I guess. That was exactly the response I was hoping for. Anyway, we are still on board with De Rouge at the moment. Let's see what he can bring to the table on these new softs, as he comes round the final corner of the Paul Ricard circuit and is going to dash himself all the way down to the finish line. What can he do? Is he going to go faster than Harry Palmer? The answer is yes, 1:31.7, an amazing time there from the Alpine driver. I believe his teammate of De Morts is coming up next. Let's see what he can do. And he goes fast as 1 minute 30. I think it's going to be a matter of trading places now. Let's find out who's next. I believe that's going to be the Ferrari of CRL 3-4, pretty much self-appointed team captain at this point. He's been carrying the entire Ferrari team by helping them out with setups this season. Let's see what he can do on his softs. Currently P11, and he goes P2 of 1:31.059. Up next is going to be an Alfa Romeo. I don't know who that is, but I believe they're already on an outlap anyway. So next is going to be a AlphaTauri. Is that of Cole Paradox? Yes, it is. Cole Paradox goes fastest at 1:30.643. Everybody's starting to come across the line now. Let's see who's going to be coming up next. Oh, and there's Farrow in the Red Bull for 1:29.8. First driver to make into those 1 minute 20s. Everybody's coming in nice and thick and fast now. Let's go find the other Haas driver. That is of Hobbsy. And Hobbsy goes P2 of 1:29.6. So everybody's slowly starting to come in now. Here comes an Aston Martin driver, and that is of the reserve for Dean Pryor. Let's see what the reserve of Dean Pryor can do. Dean goes P4 of 1:30.060, nearly a 1 minute 30 flat, as the McLaren driver of Pan goes up next. Up, they're starting their hot lap. Right, who's this?
Times are coming in thick and fast now.
They are starting to come in thick and fast now.
It's like ridiculous how quickly the track dried out.
All that humidity, mate, in France, that's what's done it. Well, the Alfa Romeo of Legend's about to come across the line next. Can Legend improve on his time? He does and goes provisional P3 of 1:29. I don't think there is much longer left in this session, AFL.
No, I'm just on lap with Pan at the moment. As he comes through sector 2 and he's gone purple. There's 3 minutes left of the session pretty much, so there's still a couple of laps left for these guys.
Well, Jet's just gone provisional pole of 129.050. I'm
Yeah.
on board with Cool Killer at the moment. He's just aborted his hot lap and is now about to set his final hot lap of the session, I do believe. We've got a McLaren that's just come out in front, which I believe is Harry Palmer. He's going to need to let the Ferrari driver past and has done. 2 minutes 54 left of the session.
He was on a decent lap there, but he decided to abort. He's still got a bit of time to get in and out. I left it really late on Monday and didn't set a lap. So yeah, hopefully he doesn't make that mistake.
Well, everyone that has set a lap, everyone that the 18 that are in at the moment have all set laps at the moment. Obviously, a few of them are obviously still on those times from what was a wet lap, so hopefully they can improve on that. But that's what I like about a wet to dry quali. It shakes things up.
Yeah.
Let's face it, a dry to wet quali, you get a quick dry lap in, that's it, you sit in the garage. But at least with a wet to dry, it gives people that might not normally be at the front of the pack a chance. But we are on board with Cool Killer at the minute. He is currently got 1 minute 39.4 against his name. He'll be looking to make a dramatic improvement by at least 10 seconds. Hopefully the Ferrari driver can do that. Now it's funny to think that a moment ago CRL 34 was P2, and the amount of drivers that have come through and just changed everything completely, as Cool Killer goes 1 minute 29.6 into P4. Now, I am just going to have to let you take the reins, buddy. We are going to jump on board with the McLaren driver of Harry Palmer, mate. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Sure. Yeah. So, Harry's now coming across the line. He needs to be as far right as possible going into turn 1. As you can see, he mounts the curb, takes the apex, lovely. That corner he took there, turn 2, you can spin on that so easily. So he's managed to get through, and I love this turn here. You can cut it pretty well and just lean on the throttle there. And yeah, this corner here is quite an off-camber corner, so quite difficult to put the traction down. But he's got a good exit, and now down to the first DRS straight. So yeah, pretty plain sailing from here for Harry. See what he can do. Obviously he's got to spot his braking point, which he does. Clips the apex lovely, and then mounts that curb. Yeah. So far so good from Harry. Let's see how he is on board. He's nearly 2.5 seconds up on his time. This track is really flowing though. It is a nice track to drive, because the corners are sort of medium speed through the sector, but then you've got a slight twist and turn here. Get to within the track limits there. Slight bit of understeer, but not too bad. Now he's coming into the penultimate corner.
Right,
Slight bit of understeer there, but he's managed to get through, and now it's just bowling into the line and see what he can do. Hopefully it's an improvement for him.
And it is P8. Not a bad time, to be fair. Right, I think it's going to be the Ferrari driver of that Ferrari's invalidated. So the next one is going to be Legend, but that one's done. Let's jump on board with 3-4, shall we? 3-4 is currently improving on his time as well. Ooh, that very nearly could have been invalidated.
The curb there at the end there, just unsettled the car a little bit.
Doesn't matter, still an improvement.
3-4.
Moving on board with next, I believe it's Darouge, but he has invalidated. Next up to cross the line is going to be my teammate of Farrell. Let's see what Farrell can bring to the party. Can he make it a Red Bull 1-2? That is the question. We need a big result for that. And it is currently, as it stands, a Red Bull 1-2. Here comes McConey, and McConey goes P12. The AlphaTauri, where did the AlphaTauri finish? I don't know. Here comes Demo.
Carl's gone P1.
Oh, Carl just went, you know what, I'm going to smash that Ferrari 1-2 start and make it a 2-3. I think we are there with our grid, AFL. I think that will be our grid for the evening.
That is the grid for the evening.
Carl at the last second there, stealing it. Oh, Ennis as well's crept up into P3 as well. He crept out of nowhere. The Williams driver, he'll be happy with that, dividing the two Red Bull drivers anyway.
Yeah, I'll be very happy with that as well.
I know you would be. Not being biased, obviously. Just being...
Of course not.
Just your teammate.
Be back in a minute, mate. I'll let you do the rundown for...
Yeah,
the
that's
race.
absolutely fine, buddy. So, we're just waiting for obviously all the drivers to come in, and we'll be going through the names in a second. So, as it stands, it's Carl in the AlphaTauri in P1. Jet with a 1 minute 28.978. Amazing time there from him. Jet comes in P2. Ennis P3. Farrell P4. Du Will, the Frenchman, in his home Grand Prix P5. De Mortz, Dean, the 4-star. Hobbsy, Gold Killer, Legend, Harry Palmer, CRL 3-4. Strauss, McConey, Cole Paradox, DeRouge, Hangaroo, Nosey, and Shu. That is the order of tonight's grid. And if it's anything that like Monday's night racing was in Tier 4, it's going to be one to definitely stick around for. So coming up next is 29 laps of French racing, and I cannot wait. However, the Tier 1 boys are going to be kicking off very, very shortly, but if you want to stick around for the banter tier to begin with, then you can go and see the Tier 1 boys. But go and show them some love anyway. Right then, so it looks a bit overcasty today, so there's definitely going to be some chances of rain, but I think it's a dry to wet race in my opinion. We've not had anyone give us any weather updates today.
I'm back.
Nice. Now, it looks to be a bit overcast, the AFL, personally, so I do think we're going to be in for another dry to wet race.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
If that is the case, I'm feeling sorry for a lot of these guys, to be fair.
Yeah, if it's anything like we had to endure in Tier 4 on Monday night, mate, then... But it's France. It is known for being... You can't ever call it weather-wise. It's either really sunny, really wet, or it's a bit of both.
Yeah, all seasons in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
UK weather.
I'm expecting some snow, mate. We'll have some snow on track. You know, the one weather I'm still actually waiting for on this game that I've not had yet while playing it is severe thunderstorms.
Oh, okay.
I know it's a possibility, but I've never had one.
What would you rather, that or red flags?
Oh. Now you're teasing me, AFL. You're teasing me, mate. You're teasing me. Of course, red flags obviously are enabled in this lobby. However, I am on the side that they don't exist. Because no matter how hard I wish to see one to make sure that they definitely do work fully, I've only ever seen one once on an online multiplayer game, and I don't actually know what caused it.
Yeah, you do love your red flags.
Well, it's not that I love the red flags. I don't ever want to see a red flag, because obviously that means someone's been involved in a massive crash, mate. It's one of those where it's because it's the new feature of the game. Obviously, everybody wants to make sure it's working, and let's face it, it's like if I turn around to you and said, "Oh, by the way, AFL, this feature's now in the game. You can now do quick pit stops." You'll be over the moon knowing you could do that, right?
Yes, of course.
So it's just one of those. It's you want to see it now. Interesting fact, mate. 1 out of 20 of the drivers is starting on the soft tyre, and that would be the Aston Martin of 4-star down in P8. Apart from that, it's a pretty mixed grid between hards and mediums.
Yeah, let me just get mine.
Now, what did you start on Monday? Was it hard?
Oh, yes, I started on hards, yeah. Started on hards, now I remember. And yeah, I got damage at the first corner.
Ooh, nasty. I did alright up until the possibility of misreading the wet weather. I got brave. My mark told me that the rain wasn't going to be long. Staying out, I was like, oh, it's only going to be here for 10 minutes and then it was going to dry up. I thought, let's get brave. And ultimately, it just went downhill from there. Some other things that happened as well, but we won't go into that too much. Today's a different day. This is comms day. It's the day I've been looking forward to.
Yes. Yeah, I think you look forward more to comms than you do racing.
As of recent, mate, yes, that is actually quite true. To the point on one of the memes that I made for obviously the tier 4 memes, the last one was, what is Spider Rob going to do next? And one of them was announce retirement.
Yeah, you better not announce that retirement.
Only time will tell. You want to know if it's going to happen? Stick on board with us for the remainder of the season. Will I not? That's the question. That's what people are going to tune in for now. That's what people's going to tune in for now. They're not here to watch these boys race. They just want to know, is Spider going to announce his retirement? But no, we are here to watch these boys race, and these boys always put on a good show, just purely because how close the grid is this season.
Yeah.
But we are
I'm expecting the 4-star to get a decent start to me, especially on those softs, but anyway, I'll let you do the last one.
I'm getting a bit of desync here. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I haven't got no lights on at all on mine.
Yeah, everything's just been thrown around there at the start. Oh, Hobbsy got a drive-through penalty for us.
And we got Dean as well with a drive-through, yeah.
2 drivers picking up drive-throughs right there at the very beginning. Now, turn 1 is normally where you'll see a couple of drivers come together, and I think one person has it. It's free fall. Free fall's come down all the way down. I'm getting laggy, mate. I don't know about you or not.
No, I'm all good. I'm watching Carl now. Carl's leading, and Ennis is up into P2.
I think it seems to have sorted itself out now anyway, so it should be all good for the remainder of the race. To be fair, out of Sector 1 it was nice and clean. And they are off now for our French Grand Prix. 27 laps of racing, AFL.
Yep, 27 laps. Anything can happen. Strategy's going to be key. It's a definite one-stop round here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hards to mediums or mediums to hard, but I believe 4-star can stretch it, going soft to hard or soft to medium. You just got to look after the tyre in that first stint. And yeah, the tyres will take a lot of punishment here because there's a lot of medium to high speed corners. So you're putting a lot of low tyre as well. So it's good to sort of try and ease off when you can.
Yeah, 100%. Now I am on board with the battle between the prancing horses and the baby bull at the moment. The battle for P11 is very much alive between Cool Killer, Freefall, and Cold Paradox. Hobbsy is in for his drive-through, didn't he? Yeah. So Hobbsy serving his. Dean's choosing to stay out at the moment. Remember, Dean's got 2 laps now to come in and get that penalty served.
Yeah.
Freefall making it up to P10, getting around his teammate with ease, making it look easy. Jet and Farrell trade positions, the battle of the big bulls. Now this is a nice little battle to be watching. I don't know if you're on board with these two.
I was on board with Ennis, but I will look at the Red Bulls now, Jet and Farrell.
Yeah, I don't know if there's team orders going on at the moment. I know I gave Farrell and Jet some advice this afternoon because Farrell asked what strategy would be best. Obviously, I gave him my honest opinion, said the hards lasted really well for those first laps until the rain came. So a hard to soft is possible here in France. De Will now getting in the middle of these 2 bulls. Obviously,
it's going to take a while for them hards to warm up as well.
Yeah.
If Farrell can stick with them, then he should be in a decent position.
It's very easy, could go hard to soft here, just so long as he looks after it and stays out of any trouble. And it all depends if rain's coming or not. Is that the question? Is rain expected? Nobody's told us. We don't know. Only the drivers know if rain's predicted or not.
As you see, we have Dean behind Farrell. Obviously, Farrell coming back after that collision last week. Which if you haven't seen last week's race, please fast forward to our reactions last week. Yeah, quite a dramatic race, quite a dramatic finish as well, especially with all the drama in the Discord after.
We are on board with Dean, who's going to be coming out, I believe, in P... 20. DRS now enabled, obviously we're now 3 laps in, so that speed boost is definitely been acquired. Now, Carl is not really pulling away from Ennis at the moment. Ennis obviously looking to make it 3 for 3. I think if he makes it 3 for 3, I think Tier 1 is most certainly going to be on the cards as Cool Killer drops the P18. Nothing too major, but has lost several positions as a result. IRT Jet now having a bit of a battle with Ennis at the moment. This is good stuff between our two teams here, AFL. The battle of the Williams and the battle of the Red Bull. It's not only in the comms box, it's happening on track as well.
Hopefully the Williams comes out on top as well. But to be fair, Jet's got past.
He has got past.
Ennis,
these boys are keeping it clean, to be fair.
Yeah.
Harry Palmer drops down as well. Harry Palmer now P15 at the back of the pack.
We don't want any controversy between our two teams, so hopefully these guys are on their best behaviour tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. Obviously, after what happened last week and Farrell getting involved in that monster of an accident.
Yeah. Hopefully he has a clean race today and he gets some decent points because he deserved a lot more last week, and obviously it was taken from him. Not proportioning blame to anybody, but yeah. It was just unfortunate for Farrell because he worked hard to be in that position and he didn't deserve to lose out on all of those points.
Well, Red Bull's taken a hit over the last week and a half points wise, so hopefully a decent haul of points here from Jet and Farrell may boost us in the constructors. Obviously, then we've got 2 Red Bull drivers battling out in Tier 1 as well, just like every other team as well. So still plenty of points up for grabs this week, but we are still a long way to go. This is only chapter 3 in a 12 chapter book, so anything can still happen yet. You know what race I'm looking forward to doing comms most of all this season, AFL? Las Vegas, which is coming up very, very soon as well.
Yeah, that'd be a good race to commentate on.
I'm
really looking forward to race it myself.
I've been putting some practice around it.
I haven't.
I'm really liking Las Vegas. When you get the flow for it, it's actually quite nice. The only awful bit of it is that first corner. But that's me personally. You may find you might love that corner, and you may go, "Oh, I hate Sphere Corner." The only thing I wish they'd do is they'd update the game to include the emoji face.
That's too much of a distraction, mate. For me.
I've got it as my screensaver. I've got it perfectly timed, wearing its little race helmet during the Las Vegas Grand Prix, looking down at a Mercedes F1 car. It's a great photo. Anyway, I am on board with the McLarens to show them some love at the moment. Currently sitting P16 and P7, and the Mercedes boys are currently sitting P12.
Your teammate Jet is looking rapid at the moment. He's all over Carl now into the DRS zone, so we may or may not see an overtake now. So let's jump on board with Jet now.
Yeah, let's jump on board with the battle for P1. Don't forget, Ennis will also have DRS as well. So it's a three-way battle. Actually, I think it's a train quite far down, mate. DRS is pretty much enabled all the way down to 4-star. 4-star has lost a position to Deanworts there in the Alpine. And Deanworts takes P7.
It's a good move by Jet there. Down the inside, got the DRS. And obviously Carl was fair, left him the space. And yeah, they managed to get through. So it's AlphaTauri versus Red Bull.
The bigger brother versus the baby brother. Obviously this will be the last season, or the last game I should say, where we see AlphaTauri on the grid. Obviously if rumours are to be true, then AlphaTauri is being rebranded next season. So technically two new teams on the grid when you think about it. We've got Sauber coming in to replace obviously Alfa Romeo, and what was it called? Racing Bulls, I think they've said that the name for AlphaTauri is going to be, isn't it? That's not got a good ring to it in my opinion.
No, but we haven't got a confirmation just yet as to what's happening, so let's just wait and see.
Personally, the Max Verstappen B team sounds like a name that they'd probably go for. Yeah, Carl is sticking close to Jet at the moment. Be looking to try and get that position back as we go back onto the DRS straight any second. Ennis sticking close as well. So the battle for P1 still very much alive. I tell you what, these boys are keeping it clean around every single corner. There's been no real bumps, or it's quite a clean race, mate.
Yeah, very, very, very clean race so far. I mean, it's still 6 laps in, so hopefully it remains clean and tidy as it is for now. But you just never know in league racing, especially.
No, 100% anything can happen. We are on board with Carl at the moment, who's looking to try and get some gains on the corner. Currently viewing from his cockpit.
Yeah, all Carl has to do really is stick with Jet. Jet's currently on the better tyre, but as you know, the tyre offset will kick in and it will switch around where the hard tyre will be the tyre to be on. So as long as Jet doesn't go off into the distance, Carl, Ennis and the Will are all in decent position, and not forgetting Farrell and P5 as well. These guys are all in a decent position here, and Jet's not really pulling away, so he may be just trying to look after his tyres a little bit as well, trying to see if he can extend.
Well, I'm just on board with CRL 34 at the moment, who's looking to maybe try and get the positions done on Cole Paradox and De Rouge at the minute. Nice little battle mid-pack. Tell you what, it's so close, and everyone's just keeping it so clean.
Yeah, I definitely say this is the tier which is probably the closest matched tier in terms of racing ability.
Oh, yeah,
pace,
100%. This is quite literally the goated tier this season. Tier 2 has definitely got that on their checklist. Jump on board with Farrell, show him a bit of love for a second. No, I'm just trying to find somewhere where there's a potential battle. Let's try the battle for the McLarens. Let's see what they're both on opposite strategies. Obviously, Pan's on mediums, Harry Palmer's on hards. I think most teammates are on opposite strats to each other, to be fair, trying to avoid conflict where possible. Well, 7 laps down, 20 laps left to go, AFL, and there's been no accidents, just a couple of little yellow flags, but apart from that, nice, tidy, clean race. I think the boys have learned from last week in Hungary.
Controversial.
And then again, are they just trying to hold out for the rain as well? Is there rain coming? That's the question.
Can somebody please confirm, is there rain coming?
Can someone let us know, please? We're desperate. Because to me, I think there's going to be rain.
It does look very overcast.
I'm just looking at the track as well.
It just could be an overcast race. It might not mean that there's rain on the way or anything like that. It means it just be overcast. Or one of those where the rain comes once the race finishes, sorry.
Carl has got the overtake.
Carl gets back past, yeah.
These two are constantly trading positions at the moment.
Yeah. Which would be good. Them doing this actually helps them as well, because they're pulling away from Ennis behind, as well as possibly saving fuel when you are in the toe of the car behind, or car in front, I should say. So yeah, looking good for these two now.
Oh, we said there was no accidents. Strauss has had a bit of a spin off the chicane. It doesn't look like he's got damage, but he may have mild wing damage. I'm just trying to have a look at his wings. I think everything is still there and intact. Nothing major, but he has dropped massive amounts of positions. But there's still plenty of time for him to get back into this Grand Prix.
Yeah, still 19 laps to go. So still a long way to race.
Dean Pryor's
barring any safety cars.
Well, yeah. Well, Dean Pryor is currently having a bit of a battle with Hobbsy at the minute to try and avoid coming in last. Trying to get around the Haas, but a bit of a slam of the door there from Hobbsy.
Yeah, these two are unfortunate. They got a jump start right at the start of the race, which has sort of set them back quite a bit. So they're hoping to make a few inroads now to get back up to the pack, where they can finish this race.
He's jumping on board with the other Alpha Tauri driver that's currently sitting P10, who's looking to get the move done on the Rouge. Which that of Cole Paradox. Tricky sector, that first corner, before coming up to the DRS zone. Ooh, a Mercedes driver, but looks like trying to make the move on the Williams of Shoe, but nothing too major at this moment in time. The Williams driver of Shoe getting round the Ferrari of 3-4. Shoe rocking the 95 on the car, that's what we like to see. As 3-4 has now got himself in a 2-horse battle here at the moment, trying to keep the Mercedes of McConey at bay, while at the same time trying to catch back up to Shoe. Now, I believe 3-4 and McConey are in the same party, so they'll probably be having banter with each other as they're trying to get round. It's nice close racing, no matter where you look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strauss has come in as well, and he's got fresh softs. I've not know fresh softs. Is that a hint, or is he banking on a safety car?
Possibly. Could be a hint. Maybe rain is imminent. Who knows? Who knows? We definitely don't.
No one has told us. I've not had no messages from anyone to bail us out and let us know about the weather. Scott now going around the famous corner. Me and Scott had our very first incident with each other. We both blamed each other. Ultimately, I was at fault. Still think Scott was at fault that day, not gonna lie. But that's sort of like where the friendship blossomed from. That was the first aspect. Remember that was in Series 6. There's 4-star, the residential TikToker.
Many moons ago, season 6.
Such a long time ago. The Rouge comes into pit. Now, what's he going for? That's the question. I think that's a pair of white walls, so I think the Rouge is going to the very end.
He's going hard tyre, yeah. So that's a one-stop, barring any incidents or safety cars, anything like that. So that's a one-stop for him.
So Strauss going for soft tyres. I wonder if he's banking on a safety car. Or is he going maybe for a 2-stop?
An aggressive 2-stop, but he's got a lot of overtaking to do if he wants that 2-stop to work.
Never say never, though.
Never say never. Remember, this is Formula 1, anything can happen.
Exactly. Strauss
bangs in, yeah. As expected, he's on fresh softs.
Yeah.
Obviously, the car is not as heavy as it was at the start because he's obviously burnt off some fuel, so yeah, that car will be quite racy.
The battle for P3 is very much alive between Ennis and Duril. Duril obviously wanted to get on the podium with it being his home Grand Prix. Obviously, I hope that he does, because let's face it, if it's your home Grand Prix, there's nothing better than getting on that podium. I mean, a win is top, but just being on the podium at home, that's what you want.
Yeah, I've done that. I've won my home race, so I haven't really got much to reminisce about in terms of not being able to do it. I've done it, been there, done that, done it, got the t-shirt. Next thing for me is a championship, hopefully.
Maybe.
In Cone.
Maybe. I say I nearly did it and then bottled it. Story of my life at the moment. I'm going to try and beat Murphy's record down in Tier 4 to go 100 races without a win.
Oh, should I rename you Tottenham?
Might as well.
Sorry to any Tottenham fans out there. Actually, no, I'm not sorry to any Tottenham fans. I hate Tottenham. There you go. But we won't get into football now because that's political.
That's your career in CRL's comms over with now. In case there is any Tottenham fans in the chat, they're just gonna. If you do have any complaints about AFL, do write to us at I don't support a good club at coneracing.co.uk, and we'll review the complaints when we can be bothered to.
Yeah, sounds like your email, mate, not mine. Yeah, but we've got Derouge now on those fresh hards, trying to make some inroads now. He's down the inside of 4-star. And yeah, he's in front of him now. He's got that move done way in front of the turn. Now hopefully he can bang in some laps and catch the guys, because he's probably now doing the undercut compared to everybody else, because nobody else around him has come in. So he really now has to get a march on and see if he can catch these guys and maybe overtake them on the undercut.
Well, I was just enjoying a little bit of a battle there between Shu and Cole Paradox. Shu creeping away ever so slightly. Now I'm on board.
Creeping.
Do Will again. Obviously, all the boys are starting to go, you know what, now's the time to come in. 13 laps in. This is pretty much the time where the medium runners will be coming in, probably for them hard tyres, let's face it.
Yeah, Shu's pitting for a set of hard tyres. Been stopped there by the Williams boys. One thing I do like about driving the Williams this year is that you are the last grid slot, so you are rarely ever held up.
That's what I don't like about the Red Bull. Well, I don't like much about the Red Bull, as you know, but especially being at the front of the paddock.
Yeah, in front of the pit lane, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like, because you've got to smack X, obviously, or triangle for your pit limiter, and then you've got to do it again, all but instantaneously, to avoid that late. Harry Palmer up into P10 now on them hard tyres. Nosey goes wide. Now Harry's in a battle with Cool Killer at the minute, and Cool Killer gets round Harry Palmer quite easily. Both on the same tyre compound as Hobbsy picks up the first 3-second penalty of the evening, as Shu drops all the way down to P18 and is now finding himself in a battle with Pan.
I think Shu pitted, that's why he's down there.
It's just them cold tyres, because considering where they are on track, mate. Cool Killer comes into pit now as well. So the first of the Ferrari drivers comes in their mandatory pit stop. Harry Palmer now finds himself back into P10. Nosey trying to hunt down as well.
That's a set of medium tyres for Cool Killer now as well, so he'll be getting to the end. It's a simple 1-stop, unless you're Strauss, who's doing probably a 2-stop, maybe.
Let's face it, the hard runners have now got a question they need to ask themselves. Can I make these tyres last to lap 20 and stick on a pair of softs, or do I come in around lap 17 and stick on a pair of mediums? That's the question they're going to be asking themselves at the moment, especially Ennis, who'll be looking for that third win.
Yeah. The Ennis is sort of in that undercut range where if he was to pit, barring any mishaps where he comes out in traffic, could probably get the undercut on these guys as well. But the problem is that everybody's quite close to each other, so you're going to have to overtake a lot of people, possibly, to get through. So maybe these guys just waiting for, as we have somebody, Ennis gets a bit of a snap and he's down to P6, which is unfortunate for him, as we have a Red Bull in the pits, I believe. That's Farrell.
Yeah, Farrell has come in. I think he's going for a hard to medium approach. He's not going hard to soft, which is a fair strategy, to be fair to him.
Yeah, I think if you were to hang out for the softs, sort of like go hang for the softs, the amount of time that you will lose on dying hards, you wouldn't gain that back on the softs, really. Whereas if you pit now and still the tyres are still there, you wouldn't lose as much time. So far, there's been no safety car, which is quite something to say. Not saying that I want one, to be fair. But no, these guys have done really well tonight.
No one's bumped into each other majorly. No one's crashed each other out. Hobbsy's had a 3-second penalty, and obviously the two boys at the back have had drive-throughs. But apart from this, there's just been no major incidents. There's been clean battles no matter where you look. They're on board at the moment with Ennis again now. He's got himself back up to P4 already. It's just clean racing everywhere. These boys are showing us how it should be done.
Yeah.
So Tier 1, Tier 3, Tier 4, take notes. Boys are showing us how it's done. I wonder if we're going to get all 20 people to cross the line. I wonder if it's a fit. I wonder if it can be done. All 20 drivers to cross the line. Has it been done before? And it's now back up to P3 as well, but that is because DeWill has decided now is the time to come into pit. He'll be slapping on a pair of hard tyres, no doubt. And Carl is in as well, so out comes the weight wars. So Ennis now leading the Grand Prix, but he has still got to come in. AFL, is the undercut possible for Ennis and D-Morts at the moment?
Well, as everybody else around them is pitted, it would sort of be the overcut they're doing now. Undercut is when you obviously pit before you're...
I got tongue-tied again.
Yeah. So it's the overcut now. Let's see what Ennis does now. Is he trying to wait for the softs to come into their window? Not sure.
Tell you who I am on board with it. No, sorry to interrupt. 3-4 and Cold Paradox, both on 15-lap-old mediums. Do you think they're maybe pushing to go to softs?
Yeah, there was sort of talk in the strategy today about softs, maybe talking about softs, but for me the softs weren't great. I did use them for a bit on Monday. I think I used every tyre possible,
apart from wet.
So it wasn't viable using those softs, but who knows. Ennis has proved himself to be compared to this year, winning the first two races, getting complete points on both races. So well, we're going to find that now. Ennis is pitting.
Well, one thing I will say, if Ennis does secure a win today, I think he's pretty much guaranteed a spot in Tier 1.
No, let's not do that.
I don't want him to go to Tier 1. I want to see him wipe the floor with everyone. The man's proven he can do it. Let the man cook. But there will be cause probably for a promotion.
Yeah, he's gone on mediums.
McConey is now in the lead of the Grand Prix, but however, he is now got the oldest tyres on the grid. I think he's now trying to distance himself between him and the rest of the grid to try and maybe just get away with a decent pit.
That pit lane, oh, go on, sorry. Go on.
No, go for it.
That pit exit is so precarious, the way you just come out onto the racing line before turn one.
It's evil. If it gets mistimed, then two drivers are going out of this Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of seasons ago, I think it's when we were teammates. I know I didn't bump into you, but I'm certain I've got a memory of being taken out on turn 1. I'm pretty sure it's when we were teammates at Ferrari.
Ennis makes a move. There was a double overtake there. A 4-star lost 2 positions there, unfortunately, to Ennis and Pan. So these guys are looking to get their sort of racing on now. See where they can finish in this race.
Pan's not letting Ennis go without a bit of a fight. Ooh, I think maybe a slight mild contact or maybe just a bit of desync there. Nothing too major. But we'll stick on board and see what happens. I think Ennis is now getting into a bit of a groove. It's going to be close between these two. If Pan can just stay with Ennis. As McConey comes into pit.
Looking at is Jet and DeWill, because they're on the soft and McConey is on the softs as well. So these soft runners now, they've got 9 laps to go. It'd be very interesting now. Let's see how they get on.
Desync everywhere. It's currently a Red Bull 3-4. A bit of positivity there for the Red Bull team. Some well needed points.
Yeah, you're currently outscoring us at this moment in time.
As it stands, yeah. But like I said earlier on in the show, it's still a long way to go, as both the Red Bulls are potentially going for the move. We are going 3 wide into the chicane. Both the Red Bulls making it look easy on Legend. Slight contact between the two.
But they get through safely.
They do. It's now a Red Bull 2-3. Now, team orders. Don't damage your car, boys. Work together as a team. I don't know if you've got the stream on in the background and you can hear me. Work together. Don't make any unnecessary risks. Get points for the team. And that's my team principal talk of the day done. Right then, let's go find somebody else to have a look at, shall we? I think there's a bit of a battle going on for I think it's for P7 between Shu, D-Morts and Pan. Yeah, there is. D-Morts is looking to get the move done. Let's see if D-Morts can do it. Let's stick on board and see what can happen. Like I said, there's a bit of desync in the lobby.
Yeah, I'm seeing a bit of desync as Pan is sort of weaving to sort of break that toe, but the pace advantage that D-Morts has. Yeah,
it made it look easy.
Yeah. But D-Morts is on the quicker tyre as well. He's on the medium tyre. It's going to be interesting to see how the two Red Bulls work together to try and catch Carl. If there's going to be any sort of team orders, as you said, or are they free to race? Because obviously Carl is not too far ahead, so you don't want to be tripping over your teammates, especially where there's a win possibly. One of the Red Bulls. Ideally for you, you'd want a Red 1-2.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Red Bull 1-2 at this. Oh, I felt dirty saying that. I'd love to see a Red Bull 1-2 at this precise moment in time. Personally, I'd say let them battle at the moment. We still got a while to go. But when the time comes to it, hopefully they're both listening, and hopefully they're both going, now, you know what, I've got the pace, you defend, I'll go for the win. But if we can get a 1-2, maybe a faster slap as well, that would do us nicely. Should have done my Christian Horner impression there for you then, AFL.
Please don't.
Why not?
Take this like not offended. Don't be offended, but your MBO impressions aren't that good, mate. So
some of my impressions are good. Not. Mate, my Christian Horner and Gunther Steiner does need a lot of work.
A lot of work, man.
That's an awful lot of work. Well, it took me 2 years to master Scooby-Doo and Doofenshmirtz, so I think it's going to take 2 years to probably master Gunther and Christian Horner.
I don't even want to hear that Scooby-Doo impression.
Oh, it's good. It's a good Scooby-Doo impression. As we got a bit of a battle going on between Ennis. Ennis getting round Legend. Ennis is now back up to P5. He made that look easy. It was nicely done. Came up along on the inside and literally just went, I'm taking that position. And literally, that's what he did. Let's jump on board with our residential TikToker. That is a 4-star. 4-star trying to hunt down Pan and Shu. Can 4-star get a bit higher? Tell you what, his TikTok this week's not going to have much in it. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. He doesn't have to go through all the editing. But then again, I think we've all grown accustomed to his weekly TikToks. You have to go to a different tier and make one. If he wants to do that, if he heads down to tier 4, he'll find plenty of stuff.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't be able to make a TikTok. It'd have to be an hour-long YouTube video.
It'd be a movie.
Yeah, the amount of drama that happens in our tier.
Yeah, 100%. We are on board. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to jump on board with Cool Killer because I think he's going to potentially catch the Alfa Romeo. If not on this DRS zone, but I think on the next. Let's stick on board to see if he can get into the points.
So, while you're on board there, interesting, Farrell has now overtaken Jet. Farrell on the medium tyre, so maybe Farrell now might have the better chance to win the race.
Possibly.
Yeah. Carl's doing everything that he needs to do, just keeping it clean.
Ennis is now up. Sorry to interrupt. Ennis is now up to P4. He's slowly getting back to that position. And Cool Killer does what I says that he was going to do, and in the next DRS zone gets back into the points and takes P12. We are on board with Ennis. Ennis slowly trying to catch up to the Red Bulls. He's a man on a mission, and if anyone's going to get the mission done, it's going to be Ennis. Meanwhile, the Bulls out in front. Actually, there's 3 Bulls out in front when you want to look at it. You got the 2 big Bulls and the baby Bull leading the race. You can cut the tension with a knife, AFL. You can feel it with these front drivers.
Yeah, there's so much at stake here as well.
There's so much at stake for the top 5, especially. I mean, Carl's looking for another win. He'd love another win. Farrell and Jet will be looking for that Red Bull 1-2 at the moment. Ennis to make it, to keep that winning streak going. And Duwill in 5th, obviously, for a home victory. So much at stake for the top 5 drivers. Let's jump a bit further down the park, see if we can see any. Everyone's just nicely paced through each other. It's clean no matter where you look, mate. Ooh, is Pan going to go for a bit of a move here on the chicane? Tell you what, that's a bit weird. A McLaren driver wearing a Red Bull helmet. That's a bit weird. But I think
I was
Pan
about to say something controversial there, but I'm not. I'm going to refrain from it.
Well, Pan makes the move on Shu and retakes P8. I wonder if the hard tyre is now starting to heat up quite nicely.
Shu's had a quiet race, to be fair, which is quite unlike him. Usually up there battling. But maybe this just might not be a track for him.
Possibly.
But Ennis is catching. The Red Bull seems to be swapping positions, so maybe they're doing a bit of DRS assistance there. But they need to be careful because Ennis and DeWill are behind them, and they are close.
Ennis is the man on the mission. Like I said a moment ago, if anyone's going to get the mission done, it's going to be Ennis. He's closed that gap down. There's Farrell in P3. There's Jet in P2. I'm not going to jump on board with Carl because Carl is currently 6 seconds in front. He'll be sitting quite comfortably at this moment in time. Is Farrell going to attempt the move again?
I think these guys maybe just be thinking about consolidating that P2, P3.
Yeah, I think they will be.
Points.
What's going on? Late days, McConey. That's a shame for McConey, especially this late on. Drops down to P17. Still in the race though, so we've still got the potential for all 20 drivers to cross that line.
I think we're just in that stage now where this Williams Red Bull battle is going to hot up quite nicely indeed. So stick around.
3-4 picking up the second 3-second time penalty. Actually, that's the third one because I do believe Hobbsy has 2. It'll be his first 3-second though. So yeah, the battle for the podium is very much alive between P2 down to P5. It's anyone's game. Ennis will be desperate to get back on that podium. Now, at this point, if I was the Red Bull drivers, I'd be going, right, I really need to defend and just, like you said a minute ago, AFL, really just focus on getting that 2-3.
Yeah, but unfortunately, at this current time, it doesn't look likely that there'll be a double podium just with how close everybody is at the moment. Farrell going down the inside. Yeah.
Even DeWill's getting brought back into this battle as well.
Yeah. Literally, these final 2 podium positions are not guaranteed to anybody right now. As we have Ennis going around the outside, possibly.
The fun doesn't stop here.
Wow.
It's good. It's free. Oh, this is such good.
If Ennis makes
No, Jet, no!
I am not sure what happened there, whether there was contact, but it looks they were doing so well to keep it clean.
I had a bit of desync, so I've not caught it
Yeah,
properly.
I had it as well.
I'm a bit gutted there. Well, for more than one reason, I'm a bit gutted there.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But mainly because we didn't see what actually happened.
No.
But
This desync is ridiculous, man. I'm having a lot of it.
Anyway, we'll jump back on board with the battle for P3. Do Will is trying to get round Ennis to get on the podium. It is home Grand Prix. I think at this rate, Ennis is just biding his time to now get round Farrell in a second. I think DeWill will be sitting there doing the same thing as well. But those soft tyres, are they dying? They're 9 laps old compared to the mediums that will be just getting just to that right level AFL at this point. There's been no safety cars. There's been no rain. There's been no major incidences. It's been an amazing race. And it's been a very... I'll tell you what, the stewards won't have much to do for this tier this week. Four-star getting up to P10. Nice little battle there between him and DeRouge. And Cool Killer's trying to get involved as well. More desync there to be seen. So much desync. I hope it's not affecting the drivers,
Yeah, I hope so too.
I'll tell you what, I'm on board with 4-star at the moment. This little mid-pack battle we've got going on here, this is great. I'd strongly advise jumping down to 4-star.
Just keeping an eye on Ennis as well, because he's right behind Farrell. If you want to keep an eye on that battle, I'll keep an eye on this one, just in case anything does
I'll jump up
happen
to the top grid at the moment. Tell you what, there's so close racing here down for the trading places like no tomorrow. The driver's desperate to cling on to those points as we head into the penultimate lap. Even if there was an incident now, there would be no safety cars. The game is programmed not to have a safety car come out on the last lap of the race. Or the last 2 laps, I should say. It's been a really good move now. Let's jump on board with the battle for the podium. I'm back on board.
Yeah, we've got Ennis down the inside.
Ennis makes it up to P2. Carl is quite comfortable at the minute.
Yeah, he's comfy. He's done everything that he needed to do. Pit at the right time, has extended his gap very well. Obviously, it's helped that the guy behind him are battling, so he's managed to be out in clear air and just looking after his car, looking after his tyres, taking it easy. So yeah, Carl's done everything he needed to do. It's been a good performance from him. And he has just over a lap to go.
Yeah, Farrell trying to gain on Ennis and try and defend off DeWill at the same time. Carl's about to cross the line and start the final lap of this Grand Prix. But the battle for P2 and P3 is very much alive. And I'll tell you what, who has also been brought into this battle at the very end, mate. D-Mort is now right behind. So it's going to be the battle for P2 at this precise moment.
Yeah, let's stick on board with that.
Just on board with DeWill at the moment. We showed Farrell some love. We're now showing DeWill some love. We'll show D-Mort some love in a minute as well as we come up to the DRS straight.
I'm not sure if it's a decent there, but Farrell seemed to have got quite a poor exit. And DeWill is right with him, and he's got DRS. And we are
Farrell drops to P5. D-Mort's up to P4. Trying to get round DeWill. DeWill now on the podium at his home Grand Prix. And it's going to be a close battle. Farrell trying to get back round the Alpine driver. Can they go side by side? Can they keep it clean? Can DeWill keep hold of this podium?
That's a good move there by Farrell. Farrell's not giving up there.
Lovely stuff here. He's potentially could possibly be on. Are we going to look at a last corner upset? ever.
Snap, yeah.
We are now on board with Carl as he crosses the line to win the Season 10 French Grand Prix for Tier 2. Ennis is going to bring it home P2 as we now jump on board with the battle for P3 right at the very end. I believe it's going to go the way of DeWill, the Frenchman on the podium at his home Grand Prix. He'll take P3, D-Mort's P4, Farrell P5. What an amazing end to that front pack there, AFL.
Yeah, good race. Clean racing as well there from all of those guys. It's quite tight, but they all managed to get through very well.
Right at the very end, there's a Alfa Romeo that's laying a bit. Yeah, it's seen better days. Up until the very end, it was a very clean race, but he crossed the line, so he finishes. That was one of the cleanest races that I think I've ever commsed on in CRL AFL.
Yeah, it was clean. It was clean. There was no real incidents. Obviously, there was a few coming togethers, but other than that, comings together. But other than that, no, it's pretty simple race for these guys. So well done to them.
So I'm just going to ask if our podium winners want an interview this evening.
I'm going to invite them and I want to jump off, mate.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
All good. I'll let you conduct the interviews.
Absolutely fine, matey. I know you've had a long day at work. Thank you for joining me once again in the comms box, and I'll see you again for CRL, obviously on a Monday night.
That's right. Yeah. So Carl, Ennis, and DeWill.
It was great battling no matter where we looked, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a great race, to be fair. But yeah, just want to say to the viewers tonight and the drivers, well done for putting on a good race. All those invitations have been done, and I will see you guys next week for Cone Round 4, Season 10. I'll see you in a bit, mate. Enjoy.
See you later, mate. See you later. So, just around, obviously, the race-off, we've got Carl P1, Ennis P2, DeWill P3, D-Mox P4, Farrell P5, Legend P6, Jet P7, Pan P8, Shoe P9, DeRouge P10, 4-star 11th, Harry Palmer Knowlesy, Cole Paradox, Cool Killer, 3-4, Hobbsy, McConey, Dean Pry and Strauss. All 20 drivers crossed the line this evening. There was no safety cars. There was no real major drama this evening. So I imagine this is going to be quite a quick interview for the lads this evening, as they all have seemed to enjoy it. So we're going to start off with our bronze place finalist. It's his home Grand Prix. It's DeWill. Being on the podium in your home Grand Prix, mate, you must be over the moon. You put in an amazing drive, mate. It was a clean race as well, mate. I mean, you were in battles, you got plenty of overtakes done, everyone kept it clean, so to have a clean race at home Grand Prix on the podium, I don't think you could have asked for better. I mean, obviously, getting the win, but a podium. Home Grand Prix, clean race. It's great to finally speak to the man as well.
Can't hear them, Rob.
By the sounds of it, DeWill, your voice isn't coming through on the stream. I don't think you've got your chat audio enabled for sharing. So just to round off what you've said, obviously he's over the moon. He's on the podium in his home Grand Prix, clean racing, started P5. He couldn't be happier. But next week, we're heading over to Mexico. How do you feel about Mexico? We'll see. That's well, mate. It's been great talking to you. Obviously, I don't think the viewers can hear you, but it's been great talking to you nonetheless. Will over the moon to be on P3. However, we'll now go to our second place. He's gone 2 races in a row where he's won, but he's still on the podium. It's Ennis.
I'll take it.
You're on the podium now, 3 races out of 3. Obviously, 2 out of 3 wins. You're leading the championship by quite a distance. There's going to be no real penalties that I don't think you could be involved in there, to be fair, mate. Obviously, you had a battle with the Red Bulls at the very end. Talk us through it.
Mate, I was sweating that whole back there. It's just one Red Bull I get past, and then there's another one. Oh, for God's sake! Like they fought very fair as well, and I think I just had the better tyres doing the staying out one lap later than everyone else, and it worked out in the end.
Yeah, your strategy was on point, mate. We can't fight. To be fair, everyone's strategy tonight worked really well. The battles that we've had on stream, absolutely amazing. There's been no real apart from desync. I don't know. Me and AFL had a bit of desync on the stream. I don't know if you was experiencing that on track or not.
Not to my knowledge. No.
Well, that's good, because me and AFL was worrying that it was potentially impacting some of the racers on track. But on the podium again, mate, you're leading the championship by a country mile now at this point. Next week we head over to Mexico. How do you feel about Mexico? Is this one where the other drivers may have a chance to catch up?
Yes.
Yes.
It is. I don't really enjoy that track too much. But
ditto, mate. Ditto.
It is what it is.
But you've now got that nice lead on the championship, so even if you do drop some points next week, you know you're still pretty much going to be top of the table. So take that as solace, mate, and enjoy another podium here in France.
Thank you very much. And also I just want to say GG to Duwil as well. On the podium at his home Grand Prix. That's what an accomplishment that is.
Right then, so we'll move over to our winner. It is the Dutchman. It is Carl.
Yeah, good race. I felt good at this track. The mediums felt amazing for me. It was just, good race.
At the very end there, you got a nice gap on, obviously, P2, so it looked like you got into a groove in that second stint quite quickly.
Yeah, I tried in the first stint, I actually, because I started on pole, but a Jet started on the mediums behind me, and he actually got disqualified on the formation lap, so his tyres were terrible, but he caught back up. And then I kind of, I knew it was going to be tough to drop Ennis off, so I kind of just wanted to, I wanted to let him by and then just follow him, try and get away from Ennis, and that worked out. And then when he his tyres started dropping off, I overtook him, and I pitted for mediums around lap 15, and it worked out perfectly. So.
Well, you did have that bit of the battle with the Red Bulls, obviously late in the game, but perfect strategy. You got your first, it is your first win of season 10. Hopefully we'll see many more. You could be in a championship battle then as well, mate. Is Carl for champ in P10 going to be a thing? Come on, say yes.
No, we'll see.
Come on, say yes. Come on, that's what we want to hear. But Carl, it's been great to talk to you again, mate. Obviously on the podium in France and with a win as well, so big points for your team as well there. So we are going to wrap things up here tonight. Obviously AFL's already disappeared for the evening because he's been working late, so big shout out to AFL for getting on at the last second and joining me on the comms box. But we're going to wrap things up as we head over to Mexico, same time next week. These boys will be back, I'll be back, same time, same place. Don't go anywhere because the championship battle is still one to come.